Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bob with KC Craps, and today we are continuing our Felt to Fortunes, and we did really well last week. Got us up over $3,800. So we're gonna do a little bit of a reset. We're gonna walk in with $1,000 and try to build up from there and see if we can't get a little bit of money back in the rack on top of that. We'll have to see how it goes. I've got the dice down there. Chips are right here, ready to go. Grab a beverage or two, maybe a snack. Let's get started. Welcome back to Felt to Fortunes. Last episode, we finished off at a total amount of $3,855, which was pretty fantastic considering that we started off with $450 from our previous episode. So today, instead of risking everything, I'm going to come in with $1,000. We're going to get a little more aggressive today. See if we can't move in the direction that we want to move into and get ourselves into a bigger profit margin. So we're going to start off. I'm going to take a stab. I'm going to go with the Wise Guys progression. We'll start off with that, get a feel for the table, see how we feel. I've already done a couple warm-up tosses down here before we got started. And so, yeah, I think we're ready to go. I got 54 on the 5 and 9. Or excuse me, the 6 and 8. The 5 and 9 have $45 each. So we'll get out in 2 hits, see if we can't move in the right direction. I need to grab some more quarters, I apologize. All right, I want to put a quarter on the pass line. Let's get started. I've got my dice down here. Let's rack them out, see if we can't find the 2 pretty ones. Yeah, I got 2 3s. We'll take that. And we'll stay with our 6-2-6-2 just on the come-outs, unless we're hunting something specific for the ATS, which we're not going to play this first roll. Here we go. We get, that's a 2-4, easy 6 to start. So let's mark that point. Numbers alive. And set us up on a 3-5-3-1. That's what we're going to use until I say differently, because we are aiming for our inside numbers of 5, 6, 8, and 9. Here's our first toss. That is going to be a 6-4 easy 10. Now, we don't have anything on the 10. Biggest thing to remember, folks, is stay disciplined, stay patient, and work your strategy. Don't overextend yourself because you could wind up getting hurt really bad if you're not careful. All right, here we go. Next toss. Nice, easy toss. Felt good. 4-1-5 looks good. Okay. The 5, this first hit is going to pay us $63. Now, on the first hit, I'm going to go ahead and drop them $3. So let me get some change here. So there is 4 plus 5. We'll drop 3 of it there. Rack the other 2 and this 20. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to increase our bid. That is going to go 2 nickels there. The whites will split. Cap those, bring it inside. Outside goes to $60 on the 5 and 9. The inside now moves up 1 step to 72. Let's grab these pretty dice. Yes, we'll call them pretty. And see if we can't hit another inside number. Again, staying with that 3-5-3-1 so that we can try to aim those dice at those inside numbers. Next throw. We have a hard 10, which is pretty. Oh, I moved my quarter. Didn't mean to take that with it. Put that right there. Let's try again. We're not aiming for the 4s and 10s just yet, dice. But that's okay. I'm not going to chastise you. Here's our next toss. Oh, pretty throw. A 5-4 neener from Pasadena. Okay, so this hit, now that we are moved to the second level, that is going to pay us $84. There's 80 and 4. I'm going to go ahead and drop them $4. Grab that. That'll give me 2 5s. And then there's another quarter. And oops, I put the quarters on the wrong stack. Another quarter. Oh, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. There we go. All right. So the outsides are now going to go up to $80, while the insides, there's 80 on those. The inside is going to go up to $96. That next hit's going to pay us $112. I know that was a little sloppy. I apologize. I got ahead of myself and wasn't thinking correctly. But we are set up. We currently have $352 sitting on the table. So we're looking for one more hit on the inside. Let's throw them out. We get a 415. Awesome. All right, that's going to pay us $112. Now let's regress down. We're going to go to 160 across. We'll just rack the rest of it. No problems there. We like free money, and the casino just hooked us up. All right, so let's rack all that. We are now out of the hand. After hitting that 5, we've got 160 across. Now let's see if we can't press a little bit. We're going to aim for the 4s and 10s now, which means I'm going to be changing my dice set to a 3-5-1-5. So it's 3-1 on the top, hard 10 on the back, hard 4 on the front. Our first throw. There's a yo 11. Okay, we don't have anything on it. Let's toss again. Stay with the same die set of 3-5-1-5. Here's our next throw. A 1, 2, 3. Grab the dice. And we're just going to stay with that die set until I say differently, because we're pretty much just going to hunt for 4s and 10s right now. Next throw gives us a 6-2 easy 8. All right, so that's going to pay us $35. Now I'm going to take the quarter, and I have seen 10 a couple times, so I'm going to stick it on the 10. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the 860. I'm going to try to get those inside numbers up a little bit while still increasing, and see if we can't fuel the outside numbers with it. I was kind of debating on which direction I wanted to go, but I think we'll do that this time. Now for our next toss. That is a 9-neener, 5-4 from Pasadena. There we have it. That's going to also pay us $35, so we'll just make it 50. Rack the 10. Move forward. I like that I'm still racking money, but still doing raises so that I can try to double dip and increase those bets and get a little bit more money in the rack on the next hit. Next toss. That's boxcars. That's the talls. Wow. We really kind of created some excitement on the table there. Holy cow, and we're 2 numbers away from the smalls even. All right, back to the 3-5-1-5. Here is our next toss. That's a Cinco Dos Adios. Thanks for playing. Wow, I knew I should have regressed after seeing that bonus hit. All right, so that didn't help us too much. It didn't really hurt us because we got out of the hand. I mean, there's 150, 250. There's 315, 319. So we made $121 there on that roll. I can't say I'd argue with that. So let's rack all that up. I'm going to now move up a level. I'm going to try to get to 330 across on the inside, not across. 330 on the inside. And then we'll grab some nickels, 3 and 3. And I'm going to go $50 on the pass line. Puck is off. Let me reset these numbers. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play the ATS this round. I'm just going to go 5-10-5. Just something a little something, just to make it interesting. Got the dice down here. And there's 2 4s. We'll grab that. 6 2 6 2 on the come out. Here is our first roll. That's a yo 11. Sets the point. Let's take our dice. Slide down. Let's go again. That was a nice start. I like getting those extremes to start. Okay. Got my dice set. Here's our first throw. Yeah. So that just happened. And now I'm just resetting. This is probably foolish, but I got to give it a go. I really want to go with this strategy next. Oh, I need 5, 10, 5 for the bonuses. Yep, there we go. Let's toss her out. We are not working the come out. First throw. That's a 2, 3, 5. Let's mark that point. Grab our dice. And see if we can't hit some inside numbers. I'd like that. Here comes our first throw. A yo 11. That was a nice throw. Slide them down. Let's try again. Sticking with that 3, 5, 3, 1 as we want to aim towards the center of the table with those dice. Next throw. That's a 6, 3 neener. All right, so 75 will pay us 105. I'm going to regress down and make it 220 on the inside. So I just got paid 110 essentially, 110 and 105, so that's 215 coming off. And if you think about it, I got 220 across here. So that's after one hit. I'm only invested into the hand for a total of $55. Not bad after one hit. Next throw. That's a 3, 1, 4. Easy 4. Nothing on it. Doesn't help us. Doesn't hurt us. Well, it does help us a little bit because of the tracker, but we're not focused on that. We're focused on getting some inside numbers. Now for our next throw. That's a hard 4. We banged that 4 now 2 rolls in a row. Okay. It was pretty. Let's see if we can't now transition inside. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next throw. That's 3 rolls in a row we get a 4. Holy cow. We went easy, hard, and then easy again. That's crazy. Next toss. Aces in both places. That doesn't help us, except for the tracker. But yeah, wow, crazy. Okay, well I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, but yeah, I'm dancing all around what I need. Next toss. There's a 4, 1, 5. That helps us. That's the point. We'll take 50 down here. That's going to pay us $70. Let's turn the puck off. We are officially out of the hand because remember we had $55 we were invested in. So I've got 2 quarters here. Put 1 on the 4, 1 on the 10. I'm going to take the 70. I'm going to rack that because that officially pulls us into profit land. Let's get these dice pulled back over. And now, let's do our come out roll. Come out roll, like I've said many a times, I go with a 6-2-6-2 die set, trying to influence hard sets, 4, 10, box cards, aces, anything along those lines. Let's see what we get. That's a 6-3 neener. So let's set that new point of a 9. Move our dice out. Let's grab them out and continue our throw. Now I'm going to be aiming for 4s and 10s. Even though I've only got a quarter on them, they're my best numbers. 3, 5, 1, 5 is now our die set. Here's our next toss. That's a hard 4. Oh, that's exactly what we were aiming for. Oh, I need some more quarters. That's going to pay us $50. I'll put a quarter on it. Rack the other quarter. I know Skill and Luck will be appreciative of that move. He was like, why do you put it all on there? I'm like, because I'm out of the hand. He's like, yeah, but you should still be racking. I was like, yes, sir. Next toss. We have aces in both places again. It's twice on this one roll. Let's continue on. 3, 5, 1, 5. Let's see if we can't hit a 4 or a 10, please. There is a 3, 4. Big Ray. Whoop, whoop. In a bad way. Yay. All right, so that resets our roll. We did move into Profitsville. There's 175, 275, $310 total that we pulled off the table. Yeah. So we're up. Because remember, when we finished off here, we had 220 plus another 50, 270, 320. So yeah, you have to remember we added that on there after the fact. So yeah, we were closer to breaking even, I guess is the best way to put it. I wasn't quite out of the hand after that raise on the 4. After putting money on the 4 and 10 and then adding a quarter to the 4, I should have just pulled that entire 50 off, and that would have allowed me to officially been out of the hand. All right, let's turn our puck off. Let's move. I'm not going to be as aggressive. I'm going to go with a 110 on the inside this time. And there we have it. I've got my dice ready. Oh, almost forgot. I need a pass line. I'm just going to put 15 on it this time. We haven't been hitting too many points, and so we'll just go minimal there. Tracker is all reset. Let's toss. Wow, that was a pretty throw. 4-2, easy 6. That's our point. Let's get that set. Slide our dice down. Let's give her a go. Okay. First toss. That's an easy 10, 6-4 variety. I guess that's the only easy 10 that can be on those dice, since we've only got 2 of them. Didn't think about that. 3, 5, 1, 5, or excuse me, 3, 5, 3, 1. We're still staying with the 3V, aiming our dice towards those inside numbers. That's a 2-4, easy 6. That's the point. 35 here. 15 here. Whoops. All right, so this, I'll take my 6 up to 60. Take my nickel and rack it. And then I'll take this 15. We're on a $15 table, so I'm going to add. And I'm going to put 15 on the 4, 15 on the 10. Puck is off. We are not working to come out. Let's roll. I did a little bit of an aggressive move, just wanting to cover those outside numbers in case they come again. Next toss. AC deucey. There's our point. Next toss. Let me slide these down first. Hold on. Now we can move to our next toss. So I'm going to aim for the 4s and 10s, even though they're the weakest numbers. I want to try to build them up. Next toss. That's a 5-3 easy 8. That's going to pay us $35. And I will just jump it up to 60. Rack the nickel. That should have been over here. Let's see here. That's 70 plus 40 makes 110. Almost there. Oh, actually, you know what? No. Almost missed it. So that's $75, $90. I had 110. I'm going to call myself out, even though I need a little bit more. I like where that position is. And now I can call myself out of the hand, even though I need like another, what, $20. I'm okay with that. Next toss. Here we go. That's aces in both places. Let's throw them again. Man, that was a pretty throw too. I wish you would have seen that. 3-5, 3-1 is what we're staying with. Here is our next throw. 2-3-5. We'll take it. That pays us 35. I'm just going to make it 50. Rack the 10. I'm 10 away. Actually, a quarter because I got 15 on the pass line. I didn't take that into account. 3-5-1. 3-5-3-1. Here's our next throw. Two, 3, 5, right back. That pays us 70. All right, let me grab some red chips. There's 50 and 70. All right, so now I'm going to add a quarter on the 4 and a quarter on the 10. Rack the 20. I'm plus 10, effectively out of the hand. I like it. Took me a little longer than I anticipated, but we're out. So now I'm going to transition to a 3-5-1-5. Here is our next toss. That's a 6-1. Big red. Sacre bleu. Okay. Well, at least we got out of the hand. Let's count how much we got there. So there's 50. $130. We were in for 110 plus a quarter, which is 135. Okay, so technically I lost 5, but I'm not upset with that. That was a nice roll. Okay. Go like this, and go like this. All right, so we're looking at 575, 585, 588 now is what essentially we have in our rack. I want to go one more throw. I don't recommend doing this, but I'm having some fun with it. This is all free money because of my rack over here. I still have another, what, 28.55. So let's have some fun with it. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. Take 10 off. And 120 on those. Woo, woo. Come on. There we go. And we'll go 50 on the pass line. That's our setup. We're going 440 on the inside. I want to have some fun with this one. Who knows? Let's see what happens. I'm up for an adventure. Got my dice. Got them set to a 6-2-6-2. Here is our come out roll, which we are not working. That's a 6-2. Easy 8 to start things off. Let's mark that point. Here we go. Our next toss, I'm going to a 3-5-3-1 die set. Here's our throw. 5-3. A buckshot on the point. There's $50 right there. There's 125, 145, or 135, $140. All right, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to jump it up to 150. Just a little press and rack the rest of it. So I'm still racking $160 off of that. Let's turn the puck off. Grab these dice. And let's start again. That was a nice little buckshot there. Move back to the 6-2-6-2 die set. Here's our next throw. There is a 2-4. That gives us an easy 6. Let's mark that point. Going to continue to aim inside. I do say aim inside because I want you guys to realize that just because I'm aiming inside doesn't mean I'm going to hit those numbers. I'm just trying to influence the dice with a nice easy toss and a perfect spin on the x-axis. Like that. 5-1-6 in the mix. Buckshot. That's $140 plus another $50 down there. I'm just going to take that and I'm going to jump it up to 150 and I'll rack the rest of it. Perfect. Let's turn the puck off. Slide our dice down. Double buckshot. Double barrel buckshot. I guess that's what we'll call it. Double barrel buckshot is what we just got. That's fun. 6-2, 6-2 for the come out. Let's see if we can't mix some magic. Here we go. Next toss. That is a 2-4-6. Back in the mix. So of the 3, 2, 4, 5 rolls we've had, they've all been 6s and 8s. All right, here we go. 3-5, 3-1. Nice, easy toss down the table. That's a hard 4. Doesn't help us, but it definitely doesn't hurt us. So we'll take it and we'll roll again. 3-5-3-1 is where we're staying with. Here's our next throw. Oh, a 2-3-5. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to give us $140. I'm going to rack that. And that also, let me see how much in red I've got. 150, 160. We had 440 plus 50, it makes 490. So we're $30 away from being out of this hand. I'm okay with that. I'm in a real happy mood once I get to that point because, yeah, that can be rough going trying to get out of it. 3-5-3-1. Here's our next toss. A 6-3 Neener from Pasadena. Relatives decided to come down and visit us. $140. Now I'm going to take the 40. I'm going to rack it. And I'm going to put it onto the 4 because I've seen a 4. I have not seen a 10 yet on this roll. Let's take our dice and slide them down. I'm going to start now aiming for 4s and 10s and see if we can't influence them again. So that gives us a 3-5-1-5 die set is what I'm looking at utilizing, trying to aim for those 2 numbers. Pretty throw. Yo, 11. Doesn't help us. Helps those that are on the tracker, chasing down the tracker. They're getting deliciously close. 3-5-1-5 is our die set. I'll just stay with that until I announce it differently. Here's our next toss. Easy 8, 6-2. That pays us $175. I'm going to put it on the 10, rack the 75. Let's move forward. Oh, that one felt good. That one felt good. Let's get these dice set. Here comes our next toss. That gives us an easy 8 right back. Wow, another $175. Okay, so this one, I'm actually going to rack it all. I wanted to get just one more extra hit there. I mean, I'll take $175 per roll, but we also know that it doesn't always stay that way. So our next toss. There is a 415. Nice, $140, please, and thank you. I'm now going to make it $200. I'm going to rack the 40. I think we're okay with that. Next roll. I'm now going to start doing collect press per number, just because I'm starting to get enough frequency that I can do that. That's a 3-4. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm not upset. Let's see how much money we got on that roll. There's 400, 5, 6, 7, almost $800. 50, 75, 90. So I got $790 on that one roll. Okay, so we're below where we started on the day, but you know what? I had a lot of fun with you all today. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out. We'll continue this bankroll series next week, and I think what we'll do is we'll start with this and leave that in our reserves and see if we can't spin it back up. We're now back down to almost where we started at the very beginning of $500, but we're a little bit more than that, and I'm okay with that. Guys, thank you very much for checking it out. So only being down $112 after all of that isn't a horrible amount. We started with 1,000, leaving with 888. We'll pick up there next week and hopefully see if we can't build it back up to 1,000 and maybe up a higher, and just continue building our bankroll. That way we can move into maybe a high limit table, and you never know, but we got a ways to go before we get there. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, just hit that little like button. Also looking for more subscribers. We've cracked 2,000. Always looking for more. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget about the little bell notification that'll let you know when our next video comes out, like tomorrow. We're also going to live stream. So let's have fun. We'll see you guys then.